Sales tax program, also known as Roadwise. I'm Cheryl Harleston. My guest today is Peter Valaket, and he is a pre-construction manager for the sales tax program, working very closely with the county. And we talked about a lot of things here during this last few minutes or so, and it's really interesting to see how versatile this program is, and how it's touched large projects and small projects and drainage and all of these kinds of things. When you look at the before and after, before the project had been started, it seems like some of these streets and roads, et cetera, have been serious infrastructure problems, and they've been improved. Mm-hmm. And how has all this happened, and are you pleased with the progress that's been made over 2013?
Yeah, I am. A lot of projects have been completed in 2013, and there's a number of examples you can go through, small projects and big projects. You were talking about intersections a little while ago, and some improvements made in 2013. There was some projects completed around the airport area, turn lanes and things to help some traffic flow through and around the new Boeing facility there. In West Ashley, you've seen intersection projects like Glen McConnell Parkway at Baird's Cove, intersections, some turn lanes and things. There's projects of all types going on, a lot of local paving projects throughout the county, Johns Island and other rural communities in the county. Also, larger projects like I mentioned. And looking forward into 2014, I think you'll continue to see more of that, as well as some of the other major bond-funded projects that are remaining get started in construction. Projects like the Camp Road at Folly Road intersection project on James Island. That project was actually put out for construction bids towards the end of last year, and we've received bids. We're simply working with the DOT so we can get that project awarded. So construction of that could start in the next few short months here, as well as the West Ashley Circle, which is another major bond-funded project in West Ashley that should be getting started here in the next couple of months. And also Harborview Road on James Island is one of the last remaining bond-funded projects to get started, and we're looking for that to get started this spring as well.
Now, is there a goal as to when you want all of these bonded projects completed?
Well, we're doing them as quickly as we can get through the process. So as soon as possible, I guess, is the goal for a lot of these projects. And, some of them that have had, extended public involvement processes have taken more time to get to construction than others, or projects that have had specific environmental permitting issues that we've worked through, like the Folly Road at Camp Road project, where you've had, we went through a lot of design iterations to reduce the number of trees impacted. So the projects are moving along, each on their own time frame, dependent upon the specific environmental or permitting constraints that they have to go through to start construction.
It seems that the county of Charleston is very concerned and very much on top of the fact that the public should be involved.
Yes.
And we see that all the time, especially with these large-scale projects. Has that been successful, and are we hearing from the public on their feelings and ideas about what we're doing to roads that are literally running through their neighborhoods?
Yes, we have had tremendous turnout for some of our projects, specifically like the Harborview Road project. We had public meetings where you'd have 100, 200 people come out and provide their opinions. And actually in 2013, we had another public meeting for Harborview Road early in the year, and that really set the path forward for the type of improvements that will be made out there. And so we've been working through this year to get those improvements put down on the engineering design plans and all the permits in place, so we can get those under construction as soon as we can.
Now, have there been projects in the area of drainage this past year?
Well, drainage is often incorporated in all the projects that are built. So often you'll be making sidewalk improvements, and it'll end up becoming a large-scale drainage project because of the other improvements you need to make as a part of it.
There have been a number of offshoots from this program, the Transportation Sales Tax Program. One I'm thinking about is public relations and public involvement, but this idea of connectivity, and those things are they're additions to what we're doing in the way of building, but we're building, and this idea that literally these roads are being put together, but also we're putting communities together. We're causing people to be, I'm thinking about the Phillips community right now, where people are using those sidewalks. And I've been asked by some of the other engineers, because I live in that area, are you seeing people using these sidewalks that we're putting in? And they're using them. They were necessary
Absolutely.
in some instances.
You can see projects like the Phillips Community Sidewalk and also on James Island, the Fort Johnson Road Sidewalk, which is really an asphalt multi-use path. That people really are using them for exercise or using them to walk to church, all kinds of different purposes that people will get out of their homes now, and because they have a facility to walk on.
That's exactly right, and seem to be using these roads and streets and sidewalks and all of that kind of thing, bicycle paths. We know that the public they're using these things, and it means a lot to them to have it. The question now that I have for you, though, besides public involvement, is where do we go from here? What happens in 2014 that we need to know about? And does that take us into maybe 75% or most of the projects would be completed, especially the bonded projects?
Yeah, well, this year, the couple of projects are expected to start, the few that I mentioned, Folliet Camp and Harborview Road and the West Ashley Circle. And with those projects getting underway and eventually completed, that will be the vast majority of the major sales tax funded improvements. So we're excited to get those started and underway, and believe that 2014 will be a big year for the sales tax program in terms of those last couple major projects getting started into construction.
You know, Charleston has served as an example to other communities, counties around South Carolina. I'm hearing that other communities, cities, large cities, are thinking about doing the same as the county has done, so that they too can make improvements in their infrastructure. And it sounds really great, and apparently we've led the way.
That's right. Some other counties are now getting their programs just underway and started. I know Richland County passed their sales tax last year, and they're getting started now and basically on the same type of a path that Charleston County has been on.
And the public understands why we need to do it this way, it seems to me. And I imagine that in the future we can see additional projects being added to the group. But I wanted to say, and I want you to comment on this, it seems like this program has literally reached every community, large communities, small communities around the county of Charleston. It seems to me it has been dispersed. The monies have been dispersed in a way that a lot of people in Charleston County have been touched.
Yeah, you can see examples of projects throughout all the small communities in Charleston County. You know, from the southern end towards Ravenel, Hollywood. You saw the new road project get completed, not in 2013, but the prior year, 2012. All the way up to McClellanville, where we did some sidewalk and streetscaping improvements in the town of McClellanville. And there's examples like that literally in every community in Charleston County of projects that have, it's not just been projects in the urbanized areas of Charleston, North Charleston, Mount Pleasant, but we have done a lot of significant projects that mean a lot to people living in the more rural areas.
And we have to mention this, and I know you'll be able to help me with a good answer, but in addition to the physical projects, streetscapes and landscaping and all of those wonderful things that are done after projects are completed, because we go back and grass the areas, and so we're sensitive about the environment and these projects as well. But it seems that the county has also been a good neighbor as it has to do with involvement, public involvement, but it's also had several projects that were offshoots from the Palmetto Commerce Parkway as an example. And I'm happy to say that we've been a part of that, and that's been the traveling trunk.
Yeah, that's right. Palmetto Commerce Parkway actually was one project where, you know, we ran into some environmental constraints and worked with the Army Corps of Engineers and the South Carolina State Historic Preservation Office, and the work that you performed with the inland rice field mitigation. And that project actually won an award in 2013 that won the an organizational award from the South Carolina African American Heritage Commission back in March of this year. So there's been a lot of examples of successes like that throughout the program that have been opportunities for the county to better serve their community and make these kind of improvements at the same time.
And as an engineer, you've been in the schools along with some of your colleagues to talk to young people about the field of engineering.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
And they, you think we're going to have some folks to take your place?
I hope so. That was a lot of fun. So I hope we get more opportunities to talk to high schoolers about potential career paths in engineering.
Thank you so much for talking with us.
Yep.
We really appreciate it. It's been very interesting, and the county has really been doing a lot, and it's very busy about getting the roads and highways and bridges and all these wonderful things that come under the transportation sales tax completed just for you. We'll see you the next time. This is Cheryl Harleston with the Transportation Sales Tax Program.